If you want to see how a professional brain cancer survivor recovers from his 5th brain surgery, stick around and I'll show you some exclusive footage that almost nobody gets to see. The night before feels a lot like a night before a championship game. You have your team around you. You know tomorrow changes everything. Morning comes, one deep breath, one last shower, one last normal moment. Then you get into the car. Nothing left to avoid. Nothing left to prepare for, only the objective. You arrive at the place that you'll call home for the next few days. Paperwork, signature, one by one. Your life becomes a medical chart. Then everything changes. Your clothes come off, the hospital gown goes on. From this point forward, you're the patient. Nurses start IVs, specialists come in one after another. They're not just checking what I can do today, but they're measuring what I might lose during the next 10 hours of surgery. Because this is not just brain surgery. I'm going to be awake for this. I'm going to be an active participant of my brain surgery. This is to evaluate the standards of what I'm going to be tested on during surgery. I have vague memories of the actual 10 hours of surgery. There were 16 people in the operating room. I wake up out of consciousness, being wheeled across the hospital to ICU, and I wake up again and I have my daughter holding my hand, tears running down my face. I go back to sleep, wake back up with my dad by my side, and he's always one for, okay, Max, get out of bed. Let's walk around. Let's get that blood pumping. And we go on a nice walk around the hospital floor. And then when we get back, I go back to sleep. And yet again, waking back up. Okay, Max, let's get that blood flowing. And then we found the snack room, get some yummy ice cream. I'm just living the hospital life. When the neurosurgeon came by my floor, I knew I'm getting close to being discharged. He takes off the Band-Aid around my head, gives me some words of wisdom.
Some things at the right moments. Do you have? You said I asked you yesterday or the day before. You don't have any super uncomfortable recollections of things, do you? Okay. No, let's go for fun.
Let's say it again.
I just said your recollections of the procedure aren't super miserable.
No. Moments later, I'm getting out of bed, not in hospital socks, but my own sneakers. That's getting out of the hospital, but nowhere near the end of my recovery from surgery. Showers are always difficult, and luckily I have my wife with delicate hands to make sure that we get all the dried blood out of my hair and off of my scar, quite frankly. This picture right here was me for a solid week and a half. Just debilitating headaches, just a screwed up stomach from all the anesthesia drugs. And after a week and a half, I can finally sit up straight, walk around without debilitating headaches. And this is just recovery from the surgery. Let aside the brain fog of all the brain swelling that I've had for more than 2 weeks. But the most debilitating thing was a consistent week of hiccups. You wouldn't think that consistent hiccups would be that bad. I'm talking about 24/7 throughout the night. And when you have hiccups for that long, they start messing with you. And once I got the drugs to simmer down the hiccups, once I cooled off of all the medication from surgery, we get to see what's left, right? Once all the swelling goes down, what's truly left as disabilities. And I told my neurosurgeon and medical team that I am okay with losing my right hand. They have to go in and resect brain matter of wherever the tumor is touching. And throughout my life, we haven't been able to truly figure out the origin points of where the tumor cells are coming from. And so this time around, we really explored and resected all the way down to the white matter of the brain to see if we can get all the tumor cells out. And again, before the surgery, I told my medical team, if it comes to losing the ability to use my right hand, I'm okay with that. Let's get the tumor cells out. I've lost my right hand before, and it's no joke, but I can do this. I can get it back. And so this was, this is the result of my surgery. And I'm confident with a lot of therapy, OT, PT, that it will come back. And I will be providing a lot of updates on my progress. But this is what we're dealing with. I have closed fist and then spread apart my fingers. And, you think, open your hand, but it just doesn't do it. The speech pathologist during the surgery, I met her beforehand. We wanted to get a baseline of my abilities. And then during the surgery, what can he do? The memory, the recall, everything. And so that was consistently tested throughout the surgery. And once the right hand, lost function, that's when he stopped. Because I told him, hey, I'm good with this. And it might really be debilitating for a lot of people. But I became left-handed for this exact reason. There's a lot more to follow up on, and I just briefly talked about this experience, but it's very nuanced, and I can do this. As I was saying beforehand, I can take the pain. So this is the follow-through part. Max your brain. I got this. Till next time. Peace.